So I'm at Walmart because my Fuente Espiritual broke, the one that I use for my working spiritually in Espiritismo. And usually I get them at Michael's. In Michael's, they're around $20, $25. So I said, so I'm in Walmart. Let me check the pet department, see if they have fish bowls, glass fish bowls, and how much they are. And there they are, right there. If this is a correct price, $6.17. That's really cheap.
Over the next aisle over.
This is perfect thickness. Perfect thickness to working Espiritismo. I should get two. There are two there, so I'm gonna get these two. Why not? Yeah, these are good size. I'm gonna show Maria. Yeah, 612. So as you can see, this is my Mesa Blanca. And these fuentes right here, just typical glasses. These are for honoring my guides. Now, if you've seen most of my videos, sometimes you'll see one fuente. Sometimes you will see more fuentes. It depends. I just have a simple setup. I never use these fuentes for cleansing. So here is a simple mesa for my spirit guides. Traditionally, I usually have one, depending if I'm doing a sesión or a misa. I might have and you'll see other videos where I describe simple altars and for your spirit guides and all that. Here you will see there's el Santísimo, la Cruz, el Santísimo over here, la vela. Always have some spiritual cologne and a bell to salute my spirits. But right here, just basic glasses of water. Make sure they're nice and fresh and clean. These are not to cleanse on. You don't use these goblets to cleanse with. You just use these glasses or these fuentes to honor your spirit guides. The one that I use on the daily to cleanse and purify, I broke, and I went to Michael's, and in Michael's they are I think it was $25. They come with a lid, thick glass. But I didn't go to Michael's. I heard that I went to Walmart. I said, let me go check on Walmart, see if I can find them cheaper, and I did. And so I'm going to cleanse them and place them on the altar. So here are the fish bowls, the fuentes that we use in Puerto Rican Espiritismo. In sesiones are seances, and veladas. I don't know the English term for velada. It's to work lower level spirits to bring them into light. And we tend to use fuentes that are very thick. And I usually buy these at Michael's, which is a craft store here in the United States. And they're like $20 or so, $25. And I found these at Walmart for, what was it, $6.12. So I said, well, why not just buy two? I mean, that's what, less than $13. So I got these both. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wash them. Washing them is really simple. All we need is tap water, some holy water, and any salt. I'm going to use some Epsom salt. Okay, so I'm just going to wash these down, purify them, cleanse them, and then charge them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is place them, well, one at a time on the sink and add some holy water, agua bendita, and then I'm going to add some Epsom salt. So I added the holy water. Now I'm going to add Epsom salt. You can add any salt you want, table salt if you want. You don't need a lot. Okay, just put a little bit inside. And what you're going to do is you're going to purify it and wash them. Get a little bit more than that in there. Okay, and with a sponge, you're just going to start washing them down and giving them a good washing. I'm going to wash both these fuentes. So since I bought 2 fuentes, I washed one. I'm going to wash the next one. And the same procedure, I'm going to add some holy water. Okay, and I'm going to add some Epsom salt. You could add any kind of salt you have, table salt. Just add some Epsom salt and give it a good wash. Some people will ask, can I add soap to my fuentes? Like, you can. I mean, if you can get Castile soap, I would say so. Use Castile soap. If you can't, then any dish detergent will do fine. I shouldn't be banging those like that because you don't want them to break. I would recommend Castile soap, but if you cannot get Castile soap, any dish detergent is fine. Just make sure you purify them, cleanse them, remove if anybody touched them before you, and make sure you remove just any vibrations that you don't want on your fuente. Now these are the ones that I use in seances, sesiones, and in veladas espirituales. These are not the fuentes that I use to honor my spirit guides. These I use more to work the spirits in Puerto Rican Espiritismo. Okay, let me wash these down real good and remove all this soap. So after I wash both the fuentes, I put one of them away, and this is the one that I'm going to use when I cleanse in front of the altar. I light some incense and I fumigate it, and then I take a candle, and in Spanish I say this, but I consecrate it. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, alabado sea el Señor. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, alabado sea el Señor. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, alabado sea el Señor. So you can see the motions as I do it in front of the fuente. I make the sign of the cross. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, alabado sea el Señor. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, alabado sea el Señor. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, alabado sea el Señor. After I purify and cleanse el fuente, I take a stainless steel cross. Sorry about the candle wick on my hand. But anyways, I take a stainless steel cross and I place it into the fuente. This is the way we do it in Espiritismo, Puerto Rican Espiritismo, also in Cuban Espiritismo. This will be a, what do you call this, a conduit of electric energy that will go into el fluido, the spiritual fluids, to cause corrientes espirituales or spiritual currents. Now if you want, this is just fine, or you can also add a little bit of cologne, agua florida. I'm going to add some 4711, just a couple of drops, or you could add holy water. So I'm just going to add a few drops. It will smoke up. Don't worry about that. This is going to purify it and cleanse it and leave it there to purify. When you are cleansing and purifying, this is the fuente that you're going to use. This is not for honoring your spirit guides, but to cleanse and to purify your aura. Okay, so I just wanted to show you a simple ritual how I personally cleanse it. I have my incense lit. It's cleansing it, it's purifying it. I'm using all the elements. Now, below the floor of my mesa, I also place a palangana, which I'm going to show you. It's just for that day. If you have pets, dogs and cats, so fine, you don't do that. I'm going to do it for a little while just to purify it, make sure that no negative spirits come along, and I'll show you how to do that. But with this is just fine. This is something that I use, and I'm going to leave links below to other videos of how I clean in front of this fuente. But I'm going to show you how I do the palangana right now for that, just to keep any negative spirits from entering into this place and to make it a place of sacredness and holiness. So here's my palangana, okay, that I'm going to place under the altar. And I'm going to use just ruda or rue. I'm going to use rosemary or romero. And you can use albahaca, which is albahaca, I think it's, oh my god, I can't remember, basil. But I don't have basil, fresh basil, so I'm going to use just pimienta ramescosa or Caribbean allspice leaves. So I'm going to add the few bits into here. I'll start with the ruda. You don't need much, just a few. And I'm going to add a little bit of the romero, which I dried. And we do this with 2 hands. So here are my 3 herbs. You can use any herbs to purify, to cleanse. Like I said, I added a sprig of romero or rosemary. I added ruda, and I added Caribbean, oh my god, Caribbean bay leaves. Don't confuse these with laurel leaves. You can add any leaves or herbs to purify. I'm going to add some water. It's going to purify and sanctify the area of my new fuente. I'm going to add some holy water. And I'm going to add some salt. Now you can also add anil to this, but that is fine. If you don't have anil, you can get Mrs. Stewart's bluing. And I'm going to open it with one hand. Try not to make a mess. And just add a little bit into the water. And give it a nice stir. Let me stir this. And now that this is nice and stirred, I'm going to place this by the foot of my mesa, my altar. This is going to purify and cleanse the altar, the new fuente, of any negative lower level entities. Remember that I just had purchased a new fuente, and I want to remove all negative vibrations from anyone who may have handled the fuente, who made the fuente, who may have handled the fuente or the goblet before I brought it to my house. So now I'm going to place this by the foot of my altar, which is right here. And if you have pets and animals, don't worry, you don't have to. I'm just doing this, and it's right there by El Fuente, and I'm going to leave this overnight to purify and cleanse the area. If you have pets, please make sure they do not drink that water below there. If you do have pets, then don't worry, you don't have to do that. But I'm just doing it personally myself just to cleanse the area. So here's the goblet. It leaves there, stays there overnight. Tomorrow we'll take this and I will throw it outside my front and back door. So with the basin that I had just showed you, you can use that water to purify the front of the house, the back of the house. We use that fuente, not the fuente, the palangana, the base, the basin that I added the ruda and the rosemary. But in Puerto Rican Espiritismo, we use ruda, romero, y albahaca, rosemary, rue, and basil. You can use that to purify the house, to sprinkle around the house, to remove negative vibrations, negative entities. When we have sesiones or veladas or misas espirituales, we sprinkle it around the house, around the people who come to the sesiones. If you have a room that doesn't feel comfortable or negative, you can sprinkle it around the bed, the 4 corners of the bed. If you feel that you are under a psychic attack or you're not sleeping well, you don't feel comfortable, what I like to do is I like to place a glass by my bed, and what I like to add is holy water, any kind of salt. I'm going to use some Epsom salt. I'm going to use some alumbre or alum. Now you can use anil, or you can also use Mrs. Bluing. and you can use Camphor blocks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place this by my bed. This will promote remove negative vibrations from the home, from the room. It will help you protect from psychic attack. It will promote restful sleep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an alumbre or alum. I'm going to add 1 piece of Camphor. I'm going to add just a little bit of any salt that you have. Just a little bit. If you don't have Epsom salt, sea salt is fine. Of course, sea salt is good. I'm going to add some holy water. If you don't have holy water, tap water is fine. Fill that cup up. And you can add some anil if you do not have anil. Again, you could add some Mrs. Stewart Bluing, just a drop. Mix it in. We'll leave it like that. Over this, I'm going to pray an Our Father, Hail Mary, a Padre Nuestro, an Our Father, and a Hail Mary, un credo. I think it's called the Creed. And you can recite Psalm 23 and Psalm 91. Place this by the head of the bed or by a nightstand by the bed. This will protect you from psychic attack. It will promote restful sleep. It will absorb negative vibrations or negative entities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir this as I pray an Our Father, a Hail Mary, Psalm 23 and Psalm 91, and I'm going to place this by my bed. People ask me, oh, you can place this under the bed. People ask me, how much should I do this? Well, you should do this as long as you feel that you need. If you feel you're under attack and you feel that you need it, then do so. So let me stir this up real good. And as I stir it, I'm going to pray over it. Un Padre Nuestro. So I'm going to pray. Un Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros en tu reino y hágase, Señor, su voluntad aquí en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día y perdona nuestras ofensas como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. Y no nos deje caer en la tentación y libéranos de todo mal. Amén. Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor es contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres y bendito sea el fruto de tu vientre, Jesús. Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros los pecadores ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte. Amen. And you can recite a Psalm 23 and a Psalm 91. Place this by the head of the bed or under the bed, and change it once a week. And it will promote rest. It will promote restful sleep. It will absorb any negative vibrations, any negative entity that may be bothering you. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. And look, I got bluing all over my fingers. Please smash that bell button. It will give you notifications when I have future videos out. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Sansista Brujo Luis and Santo Sanse. And I'm going to place this by the head of my bed. Sansista Brujo Luis. Also, you can add ruda, romero, and albahaca, which is rue, rosemary, and basil. Just a few drops, a few pieces of the herb, just like I did in the palangana, which is the basin. You can use this to sprinkle around the house, to sprinkle around the bed, or place this glass goblet by a nightstand by the bed, or under the bed to absorb any negative vibrations. Again, this is Sansista Brujo Luis. I hope you enjoyed this video. Santo Sanse.